Well, they seem to be dug in. I said, they can all they want to. He ain't taking a snap for him. And they probably should have moved on and could have got a king's ransom had they done this, Skip, in the offseason before the draft. But they wanted to try, they wanted to try to hold their ground, toe the line. And it's like, nah, he was done with that. And it seems to me that Stephen Ross has agreed to the compensation. When you are someone like this, given the accusations that's been levied against Deshaun, you running this all the way. This ain't no general manager. This ain't no player personnel. Skip, you going to him. You going over to his house.
Yeah.
And you says, okay, you lay out. Okay, this is what's being said. These are some of the accusations. Are you comfortable giving up one, possible 2 first-rounders, maybe a second and a third, and maybe even a player? Mr. Ross, are you okay with this? You do know. Now, Mr. Ross has asked the NFL, we need some assurances, but the NFL can't give you assurances when they don't know what the DA is going to do. Now, I think her name is pronounced Og, O-G-G, Kim Og, who's the DA of Harris County. They haven't done anything.
In Houston.
Houston. Mm-hmm. She's probably going to have to convene a grand jury because I'm afraid if she were to just totally let this thing go, women's group going to be, woo. So she probably will convene a grand jury and says, hey, I took it to the grand jury. They said, no, I don't really know what else you want me to do.
Yeah.
The NFL can't give him any assurances, Skip, because they don't have all the facts either. I just believe, just with me talking, I haven't talked to anybody, I would assume that if Deshaun didn't play a down this year, that would be his punishment. I could be wrong. Roger Goodell, knowing Roger Goodell, ain't no telling what he might do because they all over the place. Because 1 minute, Skip, you know what they do? They wrote up a full report on Bountygate. They ain't give you nothing on Spygate. They run up a full report on Deflategate. Ain't give you nothing on the Washington football team.
Nope.
So you see the consistency.
Yeah.
So we never know what we're gonna get out of this organization.
No.
But for me, Skip, I believe this is done. But next Tuesday, the trade deadline, I believe Deshaun Watson will be a Miami Dolphins because I believe both parties are very interested, highly interested in getting a deal done. And it is best for both parties to move on without each other.
Okay. I hear you if we're talking strictly football on the field.
Yeah.
It sounds like signed off, ready to go.
Yes.
Here we go, ahead of next Tuesday's, I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern deadline.
That is correct.
I'm starting to doubt this is going to happen because reportedly Stephen Ross says before he signs off, he needs a resolution on the civil cases and the potential criminal cases against Deshaun.
Right.
Well, I just don't think we're going to get that ahead of next Tuesday.
Right.
Help me out because I'm a little lost here.
Yeah, they ain't convening no grand jury in the next 2-3 days, Skip, and to come to some kind of resolution on the criminal side.
Yeah.
Now, the civil side, that's between Deshaun, Rusty, and the accusers.
His attorney, Rusty Hart.
Rusty Hart. So, Skip, that's between them. Now, there's nothing. Miss Og, I think that I hope I'm saying her name right, Skip. She's not convening a grand jury in the next 5 days.
I don't think so. So just to reiterate, 2 or 3 women accusing him of sexual misconduct and assault would be bad enough.
Yes.
We're up to 23 women have accused him. And the Houston police have reportedly interviewed at least 10 of said women.
Right.
Well, I used to be the biggest Deshaun fan, and I still am on the field, but off the field, I've become a skeptic.
Right.
And it would be hard for me as an owner to say, okay, I'm going to accept this because I'm not sure at this moment what I'm accepting because I still don't know exactly what happened.
Right.
I know there's a mountain of accusations.
Yes.
And as you know, it's rare that we have this many accusations. Well, for that matter, 1 would be bad enough.
Right.
But we're up to 23. The magnitude of this, the volume of this is staggering to me, and it makes me more and more suspicious of what went on.
Right.
And this is not the kind of conduct and behavior that you want your face of the franchise to have if you're going to pay the sun and the moon for him in trade, right? So that's why Stephen Ross is saying, I need a resolution, civil, potential criminal, and I need to know, NFL, how are you going to punish him if I trade for him?
Right.
Are you going to punish him some more?
Yeah, we want that, what you call him? We want that Daniel Snyder punishment, which is nothing.
Well, okay.
If I'm Stephen Ross.
Okay, I got it, but it seems so complicated.
It is, because the commissioner said, Skip here said, he said we don't have enough information to make a determination whether
Commissioner Goodell is saying, well, I'm waiting on the criminal side of it. The Houston police are back to the DA. I need to know, what are you going to do? Because we will respond in kind.
Well, Article 46 says you don't have to wait. You see what he did?
But they usually use this as their fallback. We're just waiting to see what the system.
That ain't what he did with Ray Rice. That's not what he did with Adrian Peterson. They didn't wait. Article 46 says at first, because that was the argument that he used. He said, "Well, I'm waiting for the criminal process to take its course."
Okay.
They said the media, the fans, everybody was saying, "Well, you're the commissioner."
Yeah.
Article 46 gives you special powers that you don't have to wait.
Okay, but to your point, you can argue on the commissioner's behalf that effectively Deshaun just got suspended for an entire season.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally 100% agree with you. He's on the commissioner's exempt list without being, because he's not hurt, he's not injured. What other reason is there for him not to play, Skip? He's better. First of all, he's better than Tyrod 1,000%. He's better than Davis Mills 10,000%. So he's healthy.
He's a top 5 quarterback.
Yes. So there's no other reason for him not to play other than.
Yeah. So we keep talking about, in the history of this league, we've never had a 26-year-old top 5 quarterback on the market.
Nope.
We've also, to my memory, never had one accused by 23 different women of sexual misconduct and assault. So
these guys don't come available, Skip. I mean, unless they're injured, like Peyton Manning became available, but that was after year 15. Tom Brady came available after year 20. Drew Brees had a historic injury that many people thought his career was over. Got 26-year-old guys with no injuries.
Yep.
Don't become available unless we have these 22, however many accusations that's been levied against Deshaun Watson. That's why they become available. It seems to me that even if they get settlement, that Stephen Ross is willing to stomach any possible blowback that might come along with signing Deshaun Watson. Because you know how this is. Just like when Philly signed our good colleague Michael Vick. The PETA and ASPCA, all of them showed up for weeks and for months.
Did they?
So you're going to have to be able to stomach that as an organization. It says, eventually you guys are going to go away. We're going to win football games. And this guy gives us an excellent chance to do that.
Okay, so obviously from the Dolphins' perspective, one way that Deshaun could sort of get out from under the civil side is just to say, I go settle with all of them. If it takes 23 settlements, it'll take 23.
Right.
Reportedly, Deshaun's side of this is saying, well, we don't want that kind of admission of guilt.
Right.
Because Rusty Hardin continues to argue that whatever happened between these women was consensual.
Right.
Okay? That it was consensual every time that it happened.
Right.
I don't know, but 23 is 23.
Right.
And if Deshaun is dug in, like, I'm not going to admit guilt and pay these women off to go away, right?
Right.
Well, now you got a real problem where it makes him virtually, to me, untradeable by the deadline. That's what it makes him.
I believe he gets traded by the deadline, Skip, and that's not, hey. I mean, Skip, police settle all the time. Doctors settle without an admission of guilt.
Yeah, okay.
They say, well, hey, we admit no fault. It's a bad situation. I hate it. I hate the young man's in this spot. I feel bad for the accuser in this spot. It's an untenable situation. It's bad for everybody all around. I just don't know how what else to do, Skip. I just really don't. I don't know what else to do.
Well, my gut feeling is that right now he is not going to get traded. But that's just my guess from a distance.
So they're going to hold on to him, huh?
it's almost like they don't have a choice until we get resolution on all of the above.
Right.
Because this is some serious stuff.
It is, but the price is going down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You could have got, if when he first said, I want to get out.
Now that Carolina reportedly has bowed out, well, they
didn't have no, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Deshaun has always had the leverage because he had a no trade.
Yeah.
It wasn't a situation where we could trade you to anywhere we want to trade you.
No.
He would have had to have signed off. It seems to me that Miami is a place that he feels very comfortable with. No state tax. He seems to like Brian Flores. That was one of the things that rubbed him the wrong way, is that you told him you were going to do one thing. You assured him you were going to do one thing. Mm-hmm. You did something different.
Yep.
We see the son of the father, Cal McNair, said something at a golf tournament, which is another reason why he wanted to be out of there. Another reason why a lot of the other black players wanted to be out of there, because they said, when you get, it's like you said, 22 people, that's a lot. But when you get 5, 6, 7, 8 black guys said, it seems plantation-like. Okay.
I buy that for sure.
So we need to take that into consideration. But I believe he's going to get traded.